Hi, I'm Marcus Daniel, and I'm here to introduce you to the Dual Rectifier Multi-Watt Head. An added feature of the Dual Rectifier Multi-Watt version is that it has a multi-watt switch in each channel. These switches are labeled as being 100 watts to 50 watts. So what this means is you can use 4 6L6s for a 100 watt power section to give you the maximum amount of headroom so you have minimal amount of breakup, or you can switch it down to 50 watts individually per channel so that you have more breakup and it'll be at a lower volume, so if you're playing at home you still retain that tube warmth, with the power section being set at a lower level. Each channel has a treble, mid, bass, presence, gain, and master control. So with that, along with each mode control in each channel, this gives you a lot of versatility in what you can do with this amp. A neat feature that's been on the Dual Rectifier for quite a while is the solo feature in the main output control. Basically, once you get each channel set to the level you like, you have an overall output control that will increase every channel or lower every channel all at once. And then the added benefit of the solo boost is that you can dial this in exactly where you want, so you have a solo boost again that's overall per channel that's actually foot switchable. The multi-watt dual rectifier also has a feature that enables you to select the rectification per channel. So now for each of the 3 channels you can select either tube rectification or diode rectification. The benefit of using a diode as your rectification basically will give you a tighter low-end tracking, more headroom, and a more articulate sound. The benefit of using a tube rectifier is that you'll get less headroom, which is great for blues applications or where you're looking for a tone that's sweeter and a little less articulate. Now available on the multi-watt dual and triple rectifier are different front panel options at no charge. You can now get the iconic polished diamond plate, the black Taurus vinyl front panel, or the black jute grill options. The multi-watt dual rectifier offers an assignable series effects loop. This series effects loop offers virtually seamless interfacing of effects processors of almost any style. The rectifier now has a tuner output on the back of the amplifier to go to your tuner. Now when you select the mute switch on the foot switch, you can tune silently in a live application. On the back panel of the amplifier, we have a bold and spongy switch. Bold gives you the highest output and the most articulate sound. Spongy acts as a variac and drops the internal voltages inside the amp, giving you much more sag and more of a vintage feel. So here's an example of the clean channel in channel 1, which now offers improved headroom. So the next mode we'll move on to is pushed in channel 1. I'm also going to demonstrate this in the 50 watt setting, which gives you a little more breakup, and again it gives you more of a vintage vibe. Moving on to channel 2, raw. This channel offers quite a few things. It can go from anything to doubling as a second clean channel or being a gritty blues tone. So here's an example of it. Alright, now we'll move on to channel 2 vintage. This gives you a little more gain than raw had, but it also fattens things up and gives you that traditional rectifier sound. Alright, now we'll move on to the modern mode in channel 2. Basically, this is going to give you a little more gain than vintage had, but it opens up the top end and gives you somewhat of that iconic recto edge. So now we'll move on to channel 3 of the multi-watt dual rectifier head. Basically, this channel is set up identical to channel 2. And what you'll get out of this is using some of the same modes, but with the powerful gain control, you can set up completely different sounds. So I'll give you an example in each mode again. We'll start with raw. Alright, so we'll move on to channel 3 vintage. What I'm going to do for this one is introduce quite a bit of gain. This will just create a great, thick, smooth soloing kind of sound. And last but not least, we'll move to channel 3 modern. I'm going to give you an example of the classic rectifier sound. So here we go. So now that we've demonstrated all the functions of the front panel of the amp, you can see that this thing is extremely versatile. Adding to that versatility is the Footswitch. You can independently switch from channel 1, 2, or 3, or you can also use the solo boost, tuner mute, or switch in your effects loop. Having played thousands of rectifiers during my time here at Mesa, I can say that the next generation of dual and triple rectifiers are truly something I've never heard or felt before. I hope you enjoyed our demo, and I'll see you next time.